up, guys? It's Talia. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Sunday, February the 23rd, I think. I'll correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's the 23rd. If you're new here, welcome. I've had quite a number of new subscribers over this past couple of weeks. And welcome to everyone. If you're a returning subscriber, so happy to have you back. This is a channel about cross stitch. I talk mostly about cross stitch. I talk 95% about cross stitch. Every once in a while, I'll talk about a book or two that I've read. I also diamond paint, but I don't really talk about it that much. Not for a while. I did get into it for about 6 months. Like full on hardcore, but I still diamond paint a little bit, but I don't really, like I said, I don't really talk about it. So what have I been up to these last 3 weeks? I know I'm a week late. Sorry about that. Working, mostly just working. Working and cross stitching. Pretty much it. This is what my hair is doing. I worked a double yesterday, and I was too tired to take a shower, so I took a shower a couple hours ago. It's maybe just before noon right now. I took a shower well, I take that back. I took a shower about 9. So, this is what my hair naturally does before I promptly yank it back into a ponytail. But you get to see it in all its glory today. I am prepared. At least I hope I'm prepared. I decided against doing like the whole list of new channels that I subscribe to. I don't even think I have my list anymore. I'm gonna have to find that. But I do want to kind of give a shout out to a couple people that I remember that I've subscribed recently to. So yeah. Not much going on with me. Other than work. I did have a good stitchy friend of mine, Stephanie, from Stitching It. She was messaging me and was asking about how things were going, and was just checking in on me and make sure I was okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I've been really busy, and so I haven't had much time to, I haven't really felt like making a video. I haven't had the opportunity to make a video. Last weekend, I worked on Valentine's Day, but even though I didn't go in until like 3:30, I wasn't trying to go out to eat for lunch for Valentine's Day, me and Andy. So we decided that we would just wait until Sunday when I got off work to go out to eat Sunday night. Because Sundays, even though I did work, we close at around 2:30. By the time we get out of there, it's usually about 2:45-ish. So, so I get home. If I go straight home from work, then maybe I'll get home between about 3:15 and 3:30, depending on what time I get out. And if I decide to stay over and eat, which if we're going out to eat that night, obviously I'm not going to stay over and eat after work. So, so we just went out to eat this past Sunday night, which is why I didn't get a video in last Sunday. And yes, I know I could have filmed any other day of the week, but I feel like Sundays work best for me because if I work, then I can still get home when it's daylight, and if I don't work, I have the whole day to myself. Well, I have the first half of the day to myself. So obviously I'm here at noon-ish, so obviously I didn't have to work today. I'm off today. And Andy is at work right now. He'll be getting off here probably, I think, at like 1:45. He gets off, and then it's about 30 minutes later he gets home. He wasn't feeling too hot this morning, but he went to work hoping, feeling like maybe they would let him go home after a certain period of time. And apparently 18 people called out today. Weird. The company that he works for has a high turnover rate. So, yeah. So he's at work right now. He's going to be at work pretty much the whole time. The whole time he's supposed to be there. So I thought I would take the opportunity to do a video. And I've been up since he left. Which is about 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, he leaves about 5:30 in the morning. So I've been up since about 5:15 since he got up. And I know Inner Me should probably take a nap, but I don't feel like it. At least not yet. I've already been out to up to town to McDonald's and got me a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle and some of those strawberries and cream apple pies. I mean, strawberries and cream pies, which are good. Andy's not a fan of them because he said they taste like a gel. Like, he's not a fan. But yes, you do kind of have to eat them when they're hot, when they're warm. Because if you try to eat them when they're cold, yeah, they do kind of taste like a gel. But anyway, got that large sweet tea because I'm Southern. I have a lot of whips to show you guys. I have 1, 2, 3. I have like 5 different things to show you guys. And none of them are Whip Go calls for February. Because I have failed to restart Four Seasons Watercolor by Soda Stitch. I am going to restart that sometime this year because it needs to be restarted. I have updated my actual Whip Go board to reflect what my goals are for each thing. And that includes the new updated goals. I also haven't really worked on the Fortune Owl, also by Soda Stitch. That was the other call for February. Also haven't worked on that again since the last time you saw it. I've put in maybe 10 stitches in that. And I think it has to do with the fiddliness of like few stitches here and then few stitches here, few stitches here, yada yada yada. But it's still around. I still have the rest of the year to work on it. And my goal on that is not very extreme. My goal on that is at a lower level of capability. So, or a higher level of capability. I don't know. It's at a, like, if getting a full page done, let's put it this way. Compared to my Death by Cross Stitch, which I have a goal to complete the first and second pages, which is a lot. You know, consider how much stitching is on 2 pages of a Long Dog Samplers. If that's up here, to be able to complete that within a year, being able to complete the whole word in Soda Stitch is down here as far as difficulty. So I'm not worried about that. That will get done. Because even though something might get called, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get that goal complete in that month, which is awesome. So let me just get in and show you guys what I have been working on. Now, I have pulled out other projects that are on my Loughbro board that haven't been called yet, but I am trying to get some progress on these before they get called. And I've actually been considering recently that I want to start an actual rotation of these projects, maybe like a week at a time on them, and see how that works. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. The first project, not necessarily the first, well, yeah, not necessarily the first project that I worked on, but I just recently pulled this out a week or so ago, which is Plum Antiques and Barson Loughbro. And if I have a picture, I will insert a picture. I hate switching sides. If I have a picture, I will insert a picture here of where it was at the last time you saw it. And I have a board. I actually cut out a board so that I could use it to hold my stuff. It's not going to be perfect, but this is where it's at right now. So I can pull this down a little bit more. It's been on a 10-inch hoop, so I apologize for the wrinkliness. This is where it's at right now. The last time you saw this, I think, I had all these words down here, but I think I was somewhere, come view maybe, and men come view. I can't remember, but I know I've done these couple of words right here. I did this piece of the border right here, which is a conversion, because the original color that's called for is almost invisible on this fabric, and I do not like that. And then I finished off this planter thing right here. Not finished it off, but I completed this planter and this, I don't know what that's supposed to be, like a spinny top thing. I completed that, those two things, and this piece of the border right here, and then finished out those couple of words right there. So, so that's where it's at right now. That one, this is in case you're wondering, it's a solo die from Zweigart that I got, that happened to be in my stash, 36 count. So, that one, my goal on this is to finish it this year. I don't know if I'm going to keep it out or not, because I just took it off the hoop, because I had it on a hoop, sorry. That's why you see round circles on it, because I had it on a hoop. I had it on a 10-inch hoop. I don't know if I am going to continue working on this, or if I'm going to put it aside for now and bring it back out later. Did I say my goal was to finish it? It's like words, they're traveling up to my brain, but I can't always assume that they're going to travel back down to my mouth and actually expel themselves from my mouth. That's why I will forget something as soon as I say it. The next thing I worked on is the long dog samplers that I just recently mentioned. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Death by Cross Stitch looks like. But, sorry, I'm trying to dig out the paper here. But if you don't, here's Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog Samplers. And while I'm getting it ready, but I don't need to put this on the board because it's still in my Q-snap. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And I was still mid-strand of floss. This is where it sits at right now. Obviously, I have gone out more on the top and side border and the blue over here. Yeah, all the blue I've worked on. Top and the side border, up here. And I have started on that band that goes across. When I started trying to work on that band, I was going to go up and down, row by row, but no, I'm just going to go piece by piece. I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to go do that next band that goes diagonal, and then I'm going to do the band below that that's identical to this. I'm going to do them band by band. So, and I know I said that my goal was to complete the first and second pages, but I'm more of a motif stitcher, so as long as I get close to that, as long as I can get, 95 to 98% of the first 2 pages done, I'll be happy. So I have in my head what I would like to accomplish, and so if I can get those things accomplished, then I'll consider this done. Then I'll consider my goal for the year completed. So that's where it's at right now. Oh yeah, and I went ahead and did the red. Those 2 red things in there. I know back last year, I flip-flopped and said that I was going to do a yellow as an accent color. I've gone back to the red. I like the idea of the red better. Because the yellow to me would just stand out too much from everything else. Because these are dark colors. So I've just gone back to do the red. And that's $4.98 if I remember correctly. So that is that one. Then let's get into the other thing that I worked on. I debated on not working on this at all. On just putting it away for the rest of the year and reassessing at the beginning of 2021. But I thought, no, I would go ahead and forge ahead. So, these next 2 projects are going to be the sals for this year that I'm doing. This next thing is the linen and threads sal. Linen and threads. I always say linens and threads. It's linen and threads. It's the 2020 sal. This thing is... I apologize. God, I wish I had some scissors to cut this so it doesn't look like complete crap. This fabric is fraying something awful. I need to just go ahead and knock that in the bud and actually thread my serger so that I can dye some fabric and serge something. Here's a picture of where I was at last time on the Linen and Threads Mystery Sal. And if you remember saying I wasn't entirely sure about the colorway, still not sure about the colorway, but I am forging ahead. Why I got this thing, so I'm going to use it. I'll say why I got it is why I cut it so I can use it. Here is my part 2. This motif here, these right here, and then the flower pot. So that's where it's at right now. I'm still questioning whether I like this or not. Maybe you guys can tell me what you think, because I'm not 100% on this. Knowing me, I'll probably still keep carrying it out month after month. I don't know. This is just done with some different DMC colors on a off-white 18 count Aida. said, still not entirely sure. And it doesn't help that I asked Stephanie, I told Stephanie that I was still questioning my colors on this. And she's like, it's certainly modern. It's probably not her style either. So I can't fault her for that. That is put away until March, which isn't really that far away. I spent about 4 days on that in smallish chunks, like a couple hours here, a couple hours there. Sorry, my board fell. But so I pushed through though. The colors on their own are very pretty. They're very pretty, but I'm just not 100% sure if I'm into the colors together that I selected. We'll see. So the next SAL that I've continuously been working on is the Letters from Hogwarts Stitch Your Own Adventure SAL from Cunning Cross Stitch. I haven't gotten a whole lot further since you last saw it, but there was some reverse stitching going on. Well, let's be honest, there was some frogging going on. I think it's somebody that said that it's frogging if it's more than 20 stitches or something like that. So I had to frog something. On the plus side, I at least have a badger. Something of a badger. But the last time you saw this, I think I still had one of the rows here in the yellow still left to do. And I did start up here on the diamonding. I had to frog out this side of the H, this whole side of the H, before I got around to the rest of him. And that's how I noticed that I'd gotten off, because I use placement as a guide to whether something is in the right place or not. And when I was working on the badger, I was working on these top couple of lines right here, and I noticed something didn't match up right. So I went back and looked, and I had gone an extra stitch out on this crossbar of the H. So I was like, do I want to leave that, or do I want to just completely rip it out and make sure it's right? Well, considering the way the badger sits, I was either going to have to make his nose longer, or there was going to be an extra stitch in here between the end of his nose and the H. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to frog it, because I can't do either one of those things. It just wouldn't look right. So I had to frog this whole side of the H right here and restitch it. And then I came back and I worked on the badger. I just went ahead and did his outline so that I can just go in and fill in, because I want to be, I'm not going to say I'm going to complain about this too much. The way the pattern is, even on the digital file, these blocks are solid black. There's not like a symbol in them or anything like that. These blocks are solid black. And like the whole block is filled in solid black. So it can be hard to distinguish where each block is and how many blocks there are, especially if it's a large chunk, because then you're looking at how many blocks is that? Like, and then you're having to judge amount based on the grid around it. Based on the grid of the pattern around it. Which can be a little tricky. It can slow you down. So, I distinctly remember us watching some episodes of Smallville while I was doing the outline of the Badger the other night. So, it's funny how I can connect something with a certain section of my stitching. At least for a while. I'll forget about it eventually, but yeah, that was done while watching Smallville. Because me and Andy have just been watching an episode or two of Smallville a few nights a week. 4 or 5 nights a week, something like that. I don't know. Just whenever. So, that is where that's at right now. I really don't think I'm getting this done by March 1st. Even if I were to get this done by March 1st, this block in the next week. Yeah, there's only a week left in the month. Even if I were to get this block done in the next week, I would still have to go down here and stitch the next chapter frame. You know how long this one took me? That one in itself took me a couple of weeks. Just trying to work on it whenever I could. So, I'm going to keep plugging away, like I said. So, that's where this is at right now. I was working on something else this morning, but I think, looking at this now, I think I might go ahead and pull this out and work on it the rest of the day. Just to get a good chunk of progress on it. So, while I am dressed right now, I am only dressed because I went to McDonald's for some breakfast. Which I really, really, really was in the mood for a McGriddle. So, this last thing I want to show you. It occurred to me a little while ago that I'm actually early starting this. Because my Four Seasons watercolor was meant to serve 2 purposes. It was meant to serve as my new start for February, but also being a restart, I was going to work towards a goal on it for WhipGo for the year. And since that restart didn't happen, since that restart has yet to happen, I needed to replace it with something else. Ideally, I was going to replace it with something else that needed to be restarted. You know, win-win. I toyed around with many different things. I toyed around everything with starting fresh a Joan Elliott. I've started fresh. I've toyed around with starting a Lavender and Lace. It's the Angel of Freedom 2. Second Angel of Freedom. I've toyed around with starting different things. I think I had actually toyed around with starting Big Ass Sampler. That one needs to be restarted. I know that much. I showed it in my my year of whips, my end of year whip parade. That's what I'm trying to get at. Backlash in like November, I think. That and I even did say in that video that one needs to get restarted because I'm not a fan of the fabric. I don't like the fabric. It's too dark. I am going to dye a piece of fabric for that because I don't have anything in my stash currently that I like for that project. That one's gonna wait. I'm probably going to end up buying something for that. So what did I do? I didn't restart Four Seasons watercolor, and I didn't restart anything else that wasn't already planned. So what did I do? I picked up the next logical thing that was in my basket. My basket of new starts. And it was going to be my start for March because it corresponded to some of my favorite things. Purple and the hydrangea flower. So, I went ahead and started Hydrangea by Carolyn. Didn't get much of a start on it. I actually thought I was starting it late because the start for this year would be on the 20th. The new start day for this year. Each month is the 20th. I completely forgot about it on the 20th. But I had to work too. And so the 21st, I started it on the fabric that I had kitted it up with, which was a 32 count linen, but it was Artiste brand. And when I started stitching on it, the weave is very loose and the holes are very open. And I didn't like how this was stitching on it. So I frogged. It's fine. The fabric is fine in itself. But it's something that you would want to use for more of a sampler or something a little smaller. I didn't measure it. It appears to be even as far as the weave goes. Like, it's not longer one way than it is the other way. But I didn't want to chance it. So I frogged out what little bit I had done on it and set it aside. It will go back in my stash. And I pulled out a white with silver even weave that I had originally started a swirl Christmas tree design on that ended up getting UFO'd last year. So, and because I hadn't frogged everything out of that yet, I had to do that first. But then I started Carolyn Manning's Hydrangea. And this is how far I got. It's just a white even weave. So I think that's 746, this kind of off-white color. And then I think this light purple right here, I think that's 211. So I don't know if you can see, there's the tiniest bit of sparkle in there. Not much. Now you can see a little bit, but tiniest bit of sparkle in there. So I got my start on this. This will probably get put away now. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to leave it on here for a little bit just to see. But that's my start on it. And it goes out each way. Like, as far as these square blocks are concerned, it goes out a couple more each way. So that is where that one is at right now. Like I said, just a white even weave. It's white / silver even weave by Zweigart. I think it's Zweigart. I still have a tag on here somewhere. Hold, please. I don't know. It just says white, silver, even weave. So that's my back. You don't need to see my back. So that's it. That's where that one's at right now. All these, I know you can see the threads in the back. I know you can see those. Those will be covered up by other stitches. So I'm not concerned with those. I just didn't want to be like stitching 9 stitches, tie it off, stitch 9 stitches, tie it off. I didn't want to do that. I was being lazy this morning. So this is definitely going to get put away. Let me take that back. This is probably going to get put away until my birthday. I might try to work on this on my birthday in March. So that brings the whips to a close. That is all the whips. That's all the whips that I've worked on. I'm going to have to pick out something else for my start in March. But I have patterns. I have patterns to go off of. God, I am way up on the calendar. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah. That one is the death by cross stitch one. So I have haul. I definitely have haul. But out of everything that I'm about to show you, only the things that aren't physically here count toward my Stitch from Stash budget. I'll explain in a minute. But the first thing I want to show you, I'll get into the haul. I got this has been a couple weeks ago. I got the April 2020 issue of Just Cross Stitch. I think there's flip throughs. God, I cannot think of words today for some reason. There are flip throughs on Flosstube of this. I will show you. There's that Lavender Viscornu by Carolyn. I think she showed that in her last video. And then there's also a couple of designs in here from Carolyn Manning. I do love this cross that's on the front cover. I do love that. That is really pretty. It's like a watercolor. And I'm a sucker for a watercolor. Where is it? Is it here? I don't know where it's at. I probably skipped way past it by now. You know what? It's this one. It's just before that midpoint. These were by Carolyn Manning. And she recently talked about these on her page. So, those are pretty. But I will show you the back cover so that you can see, get an idea of what's in this book. Focus. Are you into focus? Probably not gonna focus, but this is what's in the book. I kind of like this, kind of don't. I'm not big on like Welcome and Home Sweet Home projects. That's what's in here. That's pretty. I do like that one too. This is a stitch along. It's going to come out in parts. So, and those bookmarks right there. You can see. Anyway, this is that thing with the door that I just showed you. So, it's like I said, it's a sow, 6-part sow. No, 5-part sow. Anyway, just cross stitch. The next thing, I finally got my Under the Sea fabrics for January. Still waiting on February. Is Kelpie. This one, I don't know how I'll hold it. I'm gonna hold it back here because if I hold it up, it's probably not gonna show up right. Yeah, I'm holding it back here. Like it's like this color right here. It's closer to this color, but it's more mottled. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. But I get a 32 count. 32 count linen. It's my January fabric of the month from Under the Sea Fabrics. And then I also got a January fabric. I'm still waiting. Or is this the February? No, this is the February subscription to Picture Plus. And this one is called Arbor. And I'm gonna hold this open completely. It's a little bit darker pink than it's showing up, but it has those greens in it. So I can show you. I don't know if it's gonna show up back here. It's a darker pink than it's showing up, but it kind of looks like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, like I said, it's a darker pink though than it's showing. It has a pink similar to I think it's Bashful. Pictures Plus Bashful. It has a pink similar to that. Like it's light. It's a darker. It's a little bit of a darker pink. Anyway. You know, colors never seem to want to show right. So I got those in. I've already paid for. I'm still waiting for the February Under the Sea Fabrics, which I think she was about to send them out here soon. She was packaging everything up and would be sending them out this week, I think. So, still waiting on that. And she is doing 2 months on, 1 month off this year, so that there won't be a fabric of the month in March. Which makes me a little sad, because I won't get a piece of fabric for my birthday. So, I also ordered... Oh, I did forget something. I'm going to have to go get that. But I'm going to show this first. I also ordered a grime guard. And I know what you're thinking. Grime guard counts against Stitch from Stash. Why are you saying that it doesn't? Because this is a grime guard that has the extra width to it. This fits an 11-inch. And I needed another 11-inch Q-snap grime guard with the extra width on it to hold all of the fabrics. Because as of right now, the only one that I have that has the extra width on it right now is my Doctor Who one that is on. This is the only other one I have that has the extra width on it. And I didn't technically ask for extra width on it. That's just how it came. So, yeah, this one has the extra width on it to hold the fabric. So, and in case you're wondering where I got this beautiful grime guard from, I got it from Maggie's Minders. And she always sends us a cute little button needle minder freebie. The last time I ordered a grime guard from her, last time I ordered this one from her, she sent one that said life short, stitch fast. This one says any day spent stitching is a good day. That's true. You can't really have a bad day if you're stitching. So that's where I got her, and she's on Etsy. So just look her up on Etsy. Maggie's Minders, capital M's, maggiesminders.etsy.com or maggiesminders.com. And then she also has a Facebook group called Maggie's Minders Group. So there's her info. She has grime guards, and she also has some other minders and stuff as well too. So she does grime guards for Q-snap. She has grime guards for hoops. She has grime guards for the PVC frames stands. So definitely go check her out. I will link her Etsy shop down in the description below. And I have one other thing that I got that was a necessity that I had to buy. I'm gonna go get that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a needle threader. And even though when I got my Picture This Plus order, which I get through Needlecraft Corner, I don't know if I mentioned that, they actually happened to send a needle threader with their gift this time. So I actually have 2 needle threaders now. But I had to order something, and I got a new needle threader. I haven't taken it out of the package yet, just so I could show it to you guys. I got one of these. I used to have one that I actually received as a Stitchy gift from someone a few years ago. And it finally broke a couple months ago. And I've been trying to make do as best as I can. But there are some things, like I can't stitch on, I can't use my CXC floss because that stuff has to be threaded. I can't use acrylic because that has to have a needle threader. I'm going to take this out because I'm going to use it anyway. There's no sense in keeping it in the bag. But I just wanted to show you this so you would know where this comes from. I ordered this off eBay. And dang if I can't remember who it was by. I'll write it right here. But I ordered this off eBay. They're not that cheap. But then the shipping might not be the cheapest, but it's not terrible. I think the minder itself was like $4.99, and then shipping was like $3 or $4 or something like that. But I ordered this, and these things are really strong. I had the one before it. It had a purple like flower looking bead on it. And it finally broke after a few years. I loved that thing. That was my favorite needle threader. They're lost easily, but I loved that needle threader. It was my favorite. I guess some LNSs carry these. If your local LNS doesn't carry them, or if you don't have a local LNS, you can definitely go check these out. I will link I'll link the eBay shop if I can down below. Because if you go to My Big Toe Designs, you can't buy them directly from My Big Toe Designs. You have to buy them from a supplier or a shop of some type. So that's why I said you can either get them at your local LNS, or you can find them on this one particular shop on eBay. So it's kind of a crapshoot which one you're going to get sent, because you don't get an option as to what color bead you get sent or anything like that. So I think this one, I did send her a message and ask her, I'm going to go and take it off the card now. I did ask her, or the shop person, I sent them a note and asked them that I would like to have either a purple or a blue bead if possible. And I think the one that they sent me is a very pale mother of pearl purple. It's going to be hard to see. You might can see it better like that. But it's kind of hard to tell though. But it's very, very pale purple, which is fine. I almost thought it was pink when I first got it, but it's like, no, that's actually kind of purple. So, but I love this thing. I will definitely put it to use. But I still have my other metal needle threader that I got with the other package. So, and the last thing, no, not the last thing. I want to say this other thing here that's beside me, for very last, because it's actually going to be a giveaway. Just because. I did get some other patterns on Etsy though, because there was a sale. That's my excuse. There was a sale. I got 5 patterns. Yeah, 5 patterns. And I will put the shop name here because my brain sucks and I can't remember the name of the shop. But it was a shop that I had been favoriting a design of theirs, which is the Doctor Who silhouettes, which is like there's like a little different silhouette vignettes side by side, and each vignette has like a silhouette of the Doctor Who, but like how each character would have each character's silhouette. And there's one for the 13th Doctor. They have one without the 13th Doctor. I almost got that one because I'm not a fan of the 13th Doctor. But I thought, no, I'll get it just for to have all the Doctors. So I got that one. And I got a couple other ones. She has a lot of full coverage ones. She has the ones that are, it's like Disney princesses, but they're Mucha-inspired. Not the ones from Pinky the Pink. It's the other ones that look almost like vintagey. And I'll give you an example of, I'll show you an example of what they look like. But she has a lot of those. She has a lot of other Disney type patterns. But I don't really stitch Disney that much, so I found some other ones that I liked. She was having a sale, and I meant to look it up before I started this video. I don't know if she's still having that sale, but she was having a sale of, if you ordered $15 worth, then you could get 20% off. If you got $35 worth, then you get half off. And of course, I had to put $35 worth of stuff in my cart, which I only got it for $17.50. And because there's no shipping cost to add to that because they're PDF files. So I only paid $17.50 for a $35 order. But I will insert a slideshow here of the designs that I bought. And I'm going to let you see which one. You probably can guess which one would be my favorite. It's hilarious. So, yeah, I bought those. No clue when I'm going to start them. None whatsoever. I do know that Rocky Mountain selfie one, that's a definite must. I have to start that one. You know what? That might actually be my February start in March. So, we'll see. It's so cute. She has other ones with a cat one, and she has a dog one. Or I think. I know she has a backyard selfie, which has cats and dogs, I think. I don't know. She has other ones. I saw that, and I don't normally go for like the woodland animal type things. I saw that, and I'm like, oh my god, that is freaking adorable. I love that one. So I had to get that one. I debated on getting one of the Mucha-inspired ones, or Mucha. Still don't know how you say that. I say Mucha. But I debated on getting one of those, and I'm like, I'm probably never going to stitch that. Because I don't love them enough to stitch them. I don't love them enough to spend my money on them. So, she has lots of stuff in her shop. Definitely go check her out. Like I said, I will link her down in the description box below. So you can go check out what all she has. I don't know if that sale's still going on. I hope it is. Maybe up until a certain day. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, I got those. That is really, if we're really being honest, that is really the only thing that's going to count against my Stitch from Stash budget. Because the grime guard was a necessity. And the needle threader was a necessity. So, and the fabric was already paid for, technically. I've already enrolled in these month-to-month subscriptions prior to January 1st. So even though they are paid monthly, I'm not counting them against my Stitch from Stash budget because they're subscriptions. And the last thing that I mentioned that I said was going to be a giveaway. I got from a site that I haven't gotten from for a while. I haven't gotten anything from them for a while. If you watched my channel a couple years ago, you would have saw me buying or winning a lot from this site called Listia. It's Listia, Listia. And they used to have this, it's an auction site, kind of like eBay, but they use credits instead of money, cash. And you could always get credits. You could list something for auction. You could complete offers to get credits for auctions, or you could buy them. And I spent a lot of money buying credits so I could win these auctions. And a couple of years ago, they changed their credit system from a site-based credit system, points and credits, to something called Inc, XNK Inc, which is a cryptocurrency. I don't know if it's specifically site-based. I don't think it is. I think it's a general, overall, worldwide cryptocurrency. I'm not familiar enough with cryptocurrency to know how any of that works. I believe you can still buy the cryptocurrency and transfer it over to Listia, but that's a little bit more complicated techno-wise than I am comfortable with. So my only two options for getting credits on Listia now, or getting this Inc stuff, is to either list something for auction or to complete offers. So I've done a little of both over these last few weeks. And well, a couple of months ago, I listed a pack of little baggies for auction that I had bought from eBay that I ended up not wanting. I bought them for floss storage, but ended up changing everything. And so I had and I still have about 400 left of these bags. I'm gonna list the rest of them, but I had only listed one pack of 100 for sale on there a couple months back. Got a little bit for them, not a whole lot, but I've done a few offers. the higher paying offers, because that whole 10 ink here, 20 ink, 25 ink there, that doesn't work for me. So I have enough right now. It's not a huge amount, but I have enough. I have a few thousand that I can use for auctions and stuff. So one of the things that I saw on there a couple weeks ago was a butternut road pattern. Not really my style, but I knew that somebody out there would love to have this. And something I want to do is I would like to, at least once a month, do a giveaway for a pattern that may not necessarily be my style. It may be something from my stash that I'm just not into anymore. I certainly have a couple of books that I could give away. But I want to do a giveaway at least once a month for stuff that may be out there that not everybody is aware of. And the one I want to start with today, I know Dina at Half Stitch Cross Stitch did this one up. I think she finished it last year, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember correctly. I know she finished it. I just don't remember if it was last year. Or maybe the year before. I want to say it was last year in 2019. But she stitched it up. It's gorgeous. And like I said, it's not really my thing. But I knew somebody out there would want this pattern. If you can't see it. It says Butternut Road. This is Children's Garden that I am putting up for free. The packaging is not opened at all. This is completely all original. Yeah, there's the staples that are in here are starting to rust because it looks like this paper up here, like it may have been exposed to some moisture. But the pattern on the inside looks perfectly fine. Everything else that's in here looks perfectly fine. It looks perfect. So don't go off of this. As you can tell, Hobby Lobby used to sell these. So, but this is Children's Garden. The stitch count on this is 133 by 199. If you're stitching it over to on 32 count or on a 16 count, which Butternut Road is not known for partial stitches, but just saying on a 32 count over 2 or a 16 count over 1, this design would be 8 3/8 by 12 1/2. This does not take any such special fibers or beads or anything. It's all DMC. There are 2 symbols with blended threads out of all of these, as you can see. All of those. There's only 2 symbols that take a blended thread. So, yeah. It's all DMC. Pattern is what you can see of the pattern there. As you can see, it's untouched. It's in pristine condition. I mean, you can see it's in pristine condition. So, I will send this out. I can probably send this in some type of card because it was sent to me in a greeting card envelope. I can send this out through the mail, no problem. I am limiting this to the U.S., anywhere in the U.S. So, I guess what should I say? Have the kids gardening. Just mention, just say I would like to stitch the children. I would like to stitch the children. So that will be, I will do the draw before my next video, and I will post that result in 2 weeks when I come back. So you have until, I would say, I'm trying to remember. I know the 8th is a Sunday. So let's say March 7th, the Saturday. You have until March 7th to get your entry in. And then I will draw a winner. And post the video and the results on the 8th. On my birthday. So it's a pretty pattern. It's a gorgeous pattern. If I can find, no. I'll see if I can find a picture of the one Dina stitched up. And I will insert it just here. Otherwise, just go check out her channel. It's her channel is half stitch cross stitch. 2 words. Half stitch cross stitch. I think it's 2 words. I don't know. It's half stitch cross stitch somewhere on YouTube. So but I know she stitched this up. I'm pretty sure she stitched this. I think. Maybe wrong, but I think. So get your name in the hat for this. Giveaway in 2 weeks. So, real quickly, since I know we're over an hour at this point, there's a couple people that I want to give a shout out to that I've been started watching lately. A couple people have already been getting shout outs from other places, which is great. And so I wanted to give them a shout out. I just wanted to shout out a couple people that I know I've been watching. And me, I'm still looking around for my little notebook. That I had all these written in. And I cannot find it anywhere. Anyway. Obviously, some people have already shouted out Kenny Stitches and Park Hopper Bart. That's a mouthful. Go check those guys out. They're mouth stitchers. They're awesome. Kenny Stitches. Really? 390 whips? Okay. Go check out his whip parade. I think he had to divide it into 2 parts. So, but Park Hopper Bart, he's cool. I love him. And I think, who was that? Holly Stitches, I think, is her name. I think. Subscribe to her. I've recently subscribed to Nick Stitches. I know she's got thousands and thousands of subscribers, and I've heard people talk about her before. I just recently subscribed to her. Who else? Stitching with Luda. I want to say she's German or Russian, maybe. She does, she's like Yanni Stitcher. She does videos in 2 different languages. She'll do a floss tube in English, and then she'll do basically the same floss tube in her language. I think it's Russian. I see the characters in the title, and I think it's Russian. So, and then the last person one other person, not the last person, but one of the other people that I subscribe to is quickly becoming one of my favorites because she's awesome. She's so funny. Her name is Chelsea Lynn. I think it's Chelsea Lynn, right? Niecy Lynn, sorry. Niecy Lynn. There's another YouTuber named Chelsea Lynn. Her name is Niecy Lynn. And she is from Texas. And she has some stories, y'all. She has some stories. Go watch her videos. Wait till she gets to the story about her and her husband and the cat under the bed with the mouse at one night. It's hilarious. She's hilarious. She's got some stories. And her stitching is beautiful. She does a lot of like the prettier stuff. But she's awesome to listen to. I love listening to her. She has that what do you call it? The iconic southern drawl. Like I'm supposed to have, but I don't. It's not, I don't think it's as thick as Stitching May's accent, but she definitely has a Texas drawl to her. So definitely go check her out. She's amazing. And so yeah, that's all the shout outs that I can think of right now. Maybe one day if I find, I will get my ish together and I will, I don't know, maybe write down my new subscriptions again. I don't know. We'll see. What else? I'm currently listening to a book. For some reason, there was a thing with Audible, and I started getting charged for Audible again. I thought I had canceled my subscription months ago, but apparently I didn't. I don't know. It just started charging me again. So, I'm back on Audible for right now. I just had another charge come through today, I think. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. But I've gotten one book so far that I don't have a very long commute to work, but I've downloaded one book that I had on my wish list from before. And I've been listening to it off and on, either to work or from work. Because I don't get very much listened to at one time. It's only in about 20-minute chunks, 25-minute chunks. So, but it's called Sweet Tea and Sympathy. And the basic premise of the book is a event planner from Chicago has an event go horribly and catastrophically wrong. And it wasn't even her fault, though. That's the thing. And it's like it was the chef that she was working with was stubborn and wanted to do his own thing despite her telling her not to do this thing that he did. And he decided, I don't care. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what I want to because I'm Chef Pierre or whatever his name is. But but she had an event go horribly, catastrophically wrong. And she was blacklisted from the whole event planning circle. No other companies would hire her. She was let go from the company that she was with, and no other company would even go near her with a 10-foot pole, because of all the bad press. And this was an event for famous rich people. Not famous, but like for rich people. It was a high society event. And while she's about to, because she had already canceled her lease because she thought she was getting this promotion after this event. Before the event, she thought she was going to get a promotion because of this event. And so she's already like pre-planned and had the power cut off, and she's already canceled her lease up to a certain day. And so she's already had everything planned out. She'd already made all these plans, and then this thing goes horribly wrong. So now she's basically got life up to this point and nowhere else to go after that. So she gets contacted by a family member in Georgia. I think it's Lake Sackett, Georgia, who offer her a position with their family-run company, which is a bait shop / funeral home. You're gonna have to read the book, see how that came about and how that works. So that's basically, I haven't gotten too terribly far into the book. I think I'm on chapter 3 or 4 right now. But she has this huge extended family in Georgia that she knew nothing about, because she basically, her mom and dad separated when she was really young, and because her dad, I'm guessing, was a drinker or something. So her mom walked out and eventually remarried, and so she's basically grown up with a stepdad who has tolerated her for the most part, most of her life. So she knew nothing about her dad or her dad's side of the family. So she has this huge family in Georgia that she's having to live with and work with that she knows nothing about. So according to the book, there's a romance element where she meets this guy in town. She's come across this really handsome guy already at a store, but they haven't officially like met. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep reading into that or listening into that, however that works. So, I do know I need to take it easy on the stitching right now, because with my job, they've put me on a section of the line. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I know I've said I've worked at a restaurant, but it's a cafeteria style restaurant. And there's different sections to the line. Like, you have your salads and your cold fruit and stuff. Then you have your desserts. Then you have meats. Then you have vegetables, like the hot vegetables, and then bread, and then you get your drink at the end. They've been putting me on meat a lot these last couple of weeks, and it's really aggravated my hand. At first, for a while, I was thinking that it had to do with my pinched nerve acting up in my back again, because I had a pinched nerve back a couple years ago, and it was affecting my leg to where my whole thigh was hurting. And I thought my pinched nerve was acting up again, but it was acting up in my hand, since I've been using my hand to cut the meats and stuff more. But after talking with Andy and some other coworkers and stuff, I think it's my carpal tunnel acting up again, which hasn't acted up in years. But they put me on the meat section a lot lately, so it's definitely aggravated my carpal tunnel. So because it's like right in here, and then also like in my wrist a little bit. So I'm trying not to overdo it on the stitching. So that's why, like, I'm trying to get as much stitching in as I can, but I don't want to overdo it. So, I've just been doing this and that to try to, have something to do. But it is what it is. Luckily, they are starting. I spent a couple weeks up until last week. I spent a couple of weeks week before last, week before this past week, and then the week before that, I took a few days, a couple of days each week, training up at the cash register up front of the restaurant. So luckily, starting tomorrow, I'm actually going to be kind of switching back and forth. Like I'm spending 3 mornings on cashier, and then 3 evenings on the other days, on the intermittent days, on the other days on meats. So I'm going to kind of go back and forth. So I won't be on meats every single day. I will have at least a little bit of time to where just running the cash register is not going to be so rough on my hand, on this one hand, because it's just punching the numbers, really. So luckily, I'm hoping that kind of switching between those two things, having that little bit of a break on the registers, I'm hoping that will give me enough of a cut back on having to use my hand so much that it'll help my hand a little bit more. And I may see into getting a brace if we don't already have one around the house. Because sometimes I'm surprised at what he already has around the house that I don't know about. So, yeah. God, this is a long video. I'm sorry I talk. But yeah, I guess I should probably call it quits for today, because I'm going to get back to my Harry Potter marathon. And I may only be able to get through like the next couple of movies today, but because I've already only gotten through the first one, and I've seen that movie so many times, I really don't even have to watch it. I've seen the first movie more than I've seen the other ones, if that makes any sense. But so yeah, and oh yeah, my son for some reason has decided to get into real estate investment. That's a thing he's doing now. Don't know how long that's going to last, but that's what he's doing right now. I don't know. I don't know about these kids sometimes. But I guess that's going to be it for now. I think I've talked enough. I still have to edit this video, and I still have to upload it. So, since there's nothing else for me to say, I may do some diamond painting today. Anyway, since there's nothing else for me to say, I guess I will see you guys later. Enter my giveaway. Enter to win that pattern if you want it. Like I said, it's really just the hang paper that's messed up. Everything else looks pretty, still looks really good. If I send it to you and there's a problem, by all means send it back to me, or I will send you something else to replace it with. But I'll do the giveaway in a couple weeks when I come back, and I will shout at y'all later. Get lots of stitching in. Have a great week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.